it ain't beautiful. You know, like it's nothing pretty. Hey friends, Jennifer here with Morel Family Farm. Oh my gosh, it is so stinking windy and cold today. We've been doing a lot of work inside the house, as you guys know. And if you remember, I just showed you guys how we fixed the stalls in the little area over here where all the babies and stuff are. And we put up this tarp was already here, but we put that blanket up because it is extremely windy and the wind is coming straight from the this direction and blowing in through the back there. So we just put a blanket up just to protect them from the gusts of winds that come through. And as you see, I have another tarp. Oh my gosh, I'm getting blown away here. So what we were gonna do was take the tarp and tarp the whole front of that. The cows would still be able to get in and stuff. And then we are going to bring the goats and Sergeant. They are going to be sleeping in the livestock trailer tonight because it's going to be super cold. And when it warms up a little bit during the day, they can come out here. When I say warm up, like when it's like now 40 degrees, they can come out here. And then at night, we'll just continue to bring them back in the livestock trailer. Because if it's going to be 20 degrees in the middle of the night, we're definitely not going to leave them out here. It is just way too cold. They don't have a heat lamp. And it's just not fair. It's not fair to them that it's our fault that we don't have a good structure out here for them. So we will definitely make sure that they are protected from this wind and the cold weather. As far as the cows can handle very cold weather. So we're not really worried about the cows too much. They do like going in that structure back there. So if the cows get super cold or want to block themselves from the wind, they will go in there without any problems at all. So they do have something. And Antonio went in there. Like I said, we were going to put the tarp up, but when he went in there, the wind is being blocked. So it's already getting the blockage that it needs from any kind of wind that's going to be coming through. So there's really no need right this minute to put the tarp up. Okay. I have some interesting news. Hope, the little white girl that we have, our goat, the one that lost the baby, is actively nursing Bella's babies. So she's not kicking them off. So that's excellent. Excellent news. Bella is over here because she ended up with diarrhea again. It was just like one day, a fluke of diarrhea. So I gave her some Safeguard or fenbendazole. Let's say that again. Fenbendazole. And her poop is back to little nuggets. So she must be doing okay. She does have a heat lamp. And the wind is being blocked in here really well. So look at this. She does not like the grain. She eats all the alfalfa and leaves the grain. She has always done that. It is so funny. Too funny. And it has just a little bit of molasses in it. Not much. But she doesn't eat it. How you doing, Bella? She's been really quiet, though. So she's doing all right. She seems to be okay. We'll come and check on her again later. But again, she does have a heat lamp. She has plenty of hay right there. And she is now eating some chaff hay. And she has some grain. So she has everything that she can possibly need. The cows, like I said, that they're going to be fine and protected. And the goats that are out in pasture are going to go in the livestock trailer, and they have a bale of hay in there. They also have water, and of course we will feed them their grain, their alfalfa pellets, and the sunflower seeds. That's what they get. That's what their mixture is. But it is going to get cold, and I know, yeah, I knew we were running low. I think this is the last bucket that we have of their mixture. So in here, I hate taking this thing off, but okay. Yeah, I knew we had some storage of stuff in here. So we have some more grain, sunflower seeds, and I think the alfalfa pellets in here. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up however many buckets I can get. That way we don't have to deal with that in 20 degrees weather. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done now. First, before I do that, I'm going to get these eggs out of my pockets before I end up with some scrambled eggs, because I did it the other day in Antonio's jacket, and this is his jacket also, because I don't have big, thick, comfy, burly jackets. I only have warm designer jackets. They're not farm friendly jackets. He's making fun of me right now. The sunflower seeds. Do I have any more sunflower seeds? I might be out of them, unless they're on the very bottom of that bag. So I don't know. He took off on me. But yeah, we get these. I mix it up a little bit between this, because these, if you notice, this is also an alfalfa pellet, but they are so big. They still eat them. They have no problem eating them. But these are smaller. This bag is a little bit more expensive though, so I don't really like to get this all the time. But for a mix here and there, I don't mind. I just don't like to get it all the time just because of the cost. And especially in this colder weather, they eat so much, so I want to try to keep the cost down a little bit. The bigger pellets, this stuff right here, a 50-pound bag of this alfalfa. It's like an alfalfa corn grain mixture. It's really for horses. But this bag goes for, I think it's $14.99, where this bag, if you guys know this brand, you know it's not $14.99. I'm not going to say how much it is, just in case Antonio is watching this video. But anyways, this bag, the Nutrina commodity, I'll turn it over in a second, just so you can see it. This is a 15% protein, so it's really good for them. It has more protein than the other food that we were feeding. So I do like this because of the protein amount, and it's not very expensive. It's only like $12.49 a bag, so that's not bad at all. We were getting a we were getting a 12%. It was either 12 or 14%, don't quote me. But it was like it's called FRM, I think is the name of the milling company. But anyways, it was not that great, but it was a little bit more expensive than this one though. It's like almost $15 a bag. So considering they like this one, except for Bella, of course, I'll stick with this one if I can continue to find it. So for size reference, you can see that the alfalfa pellets from the Stan Lee is just a much smaller size, more normal. They enjoy eating it more because of the size. We haven't been feeding this that long though. Sorry, I'm trying to get the lid back on my thing here. But it's been a hard time for me finding a grain that's not too expensive and that they like to eat. So because this one, like I said, is a 15% compared to the 14%, it's not a much difference in percentage, but this one's a higher percentage and it's a couple dollars less. So I'm going to stick with this until they tell me that they don't like it. So just to give you a size difference in the alfalfa, oops, I dropped it. Let's see. So this one here, sorry, my finger's dirty. This one here is the Stan Lee, and this is the other brand. I don't know the name of it, to be honest with you, but there's obviously a big size difference here, but they don't seem to mind the big one. And as long as they still eat the big one, then I will continue to give it to them. But if they start like picking it out and not wanting it, then I will try to find, this one's definitely easier to break, but it's smaller. So, but they chew this stuff up like it's nothing. So that's not really a big deal to me. And then over in this bin, we have the 16% layer feed from Tractor Supply, the Producer's Pride. That's the one that we feed to the chickens. And they, honestly, since we've been here, they are looking really, really good. The only one that's looking a little funky is this girl right here. She's molting, but she's the only one that's molting out of all of them.
That little black one.
Which little black one?
Mine. The little black one. Her head.
Oh, she is melting. Okay, molting. She's not melting, but her head is molting. She's fairly young though. And then this one, I think she's older. Isn't she the mama of all of them? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but she's molting. That's why she.
That's Ashy. Okay, so she's our original game hen, and she just looks really ugly right now. But usually she's pretty. She's got pretty coloring like this one here. So I like this one. She looks like she's lacy looking. You know how the outside is very prominent in colors. And you can see that that one over there with the fuzzy feet, that one also has some nice lacy colors to it. Really pretty. They're turning out to be pretty. Although Antonio really hates to mix his game hens and roosters with other breeds. He feels like it's an abomination. I think it's funny. Look at Lucky. Lucky is an abomination, and he is beautiful. That guy over there, he is also an abomination, along with that guy over there and this guy right here. And they are beautiful. Now that fuzzy foot thing right there, I don't think she's beautiful. I think her feet are kind of funny looking because she doesn't look like my Cochin. If her legs were really fuzzy, yeah, yeah, right. She has socks on. She doesn't have pajama pants like the Cochins do, but she's cute. She's just kind of funny looking. Alexia loves her. Alexia thinks she is just the cutest thing ever. Now this is only like half of our flock. We had another like quarter of our flock, I would say, kind of came up, disappeared. Something took it. Yeah, I know. And the other half of our flock is in the coop over here. We'll get there in just a second. Yeah, doing that right now. Thanks, babe. All right, so the other half, or not even half, there's only a few in here. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 6 hens in here. But these are the biggest hens that we have, I think. Besides the Americana, she's not very big. But these are some of our bigger chickens that we do not want to lose. I would like to see a few more in here, actually. And that would be, gosh, I just forgot her name. That would be Nugget, she's walking that way right now. She's got the orange front of her. So Nugget and that one that just took off that way, I would love to see them in here, only because they're going to be big chickens. And I don't think we have any more on the inside. I don't think anyways. Oh, it's a mucky mess in there. It needs to be cleaned. We're having an issue with water drainage. Oh, there are a couple more in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of the things that we have to fix on this chicken coop is something to do with the way the water is draining and it's getting in the inside. So we have to work on that. We have to raise the back side up a little bit higher so it drains forward this way. Hush! Oh my goodness, they look so cold. You're so fuzzy. Look at you fuzzy babies. My goodness. Yes, you guys are coming in tonight. Don't worry. It'll be okay. I did want to tell you something. When it gets super cold out, something that is super, super important is your watering system. In freezing temperatures, there's so many things that you have to take note of, especially let's say you just recently moved. Sergeant, who's barking? If you've just recently moved to an area where it does freeze and you're not used to freezing stuff, you want to make sure that you turn on the spigots on your house so you don't bust any pipes in your house, just to be safe. They could still be freeze proof, but if you're not sure, then I would suggest just turning on, just letting it just barely drip in your bathroom and in your kitchen sink. And if you have any faucets on the outside of your house, just let those barely drip also. It's going to save you a fortune, much more than your water bill. So trust me when I say just go ahead and let the water drip. Another thing is you have to think about your livestock that's outside and their water. You don't want anything to crack and bust. For instance, I'm talking about these things right here. If this is full of water and it freezes, it will crack this container. So instead of using this during freezing times, try getting something more like a bowl like this. That way you can easily crack the water that freezes, or, you know, crack the plastic bowl or whatever, even if it's a metal bowl. Anything to give them water obviously is what you want, but you don't want to keep it in this. That will crack, that will not. So that's just a heads up. And then if you have livestock with big containers like this, just make sure, just keep something handy close by to crack the ice. Unless it's completely solid, you obviously can't use something like that. We don't have any kind of freeze proof piping or waters for this. We use our hose, so they're full, they're okay. We don't need to worry about filling any of these up. They've already been full. All of the waterers in all of the other areas, they have already been filled, and they're good to go. So that's just something you want to prepare for. Cold weather just stinks. Unless it's like constantly cold and you're used to that kind of temperature all the time during the winter. But when it fluctuates and you don't know if it's going to be like freezing temperatures one day or 40s the next day, just, you know, make sure you're thinking about stuff like that, because it's important. You want to make sure that they always have fresh water and that you're not breaking your containers, because then you're out spending more money. Speaking of going out and spending more money, I've got to go and change my clothes and look a little bit more presentable than this. And I've got to go run to Tractor Supply, and he wants me to pick up 3 more heat lamps. I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Yeah, and I think one more thing I want to do, if by some wild miracle one of my cows is pregnant and they do go into labor and have a baby, then what we will do for the meantime is milk them over here. We'll just put a head gate over here for them. But I think I want to get, just for now, for temporary, one of those pallets over there, one of those pallets in that stack there. I think I want to put something right there just to block that area, just for a little bit more wind support for probably Ruby. I think I'm going to end up leaving Ruby out there and give her one of those heat lamps. But that's kind of it, guys. That is going to wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And until next time, you guys be blessed. We'll see you then. Bye, guys.